What is up, everybody? I am Spartacris with the Generational Gaming and Entertainment Network. I am here with my weekly show. I skipped last week because it was a very busy week for me, which is fine because last week's Loki was a little slow anyway. I kind of felt like it was running in place, and then I'm jumping back in today. Generally, I do the show on Tuesdays, but just for now, during the Loki show, I'm going to be doing them on Wednesdays so I can kind of recap the show and just give my thoughts when it's like fresh in everyone's minds. I am Before I do Loki, though, I know I have Loki's picture up. Before I do him, I do just want to react or talk about one big announcement that came out last week. And before I even do that, let me just throw it out there. If you don't already, we are on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, Twitch, and TikTok, Discord, Generational Gaming and Entertainment Network, GGEN, GGEN for short, whatever you like to say. If you haven't already, like and subscribe. If you can't catch the weekly show live, then I do post it on YouTube, generally the same night or the next day. So you can always catch it there. And I am always interested in people jumping in and giving me your opinions, giving me your feedback. I want to know what you think of the show, what theories you have, so on and so forth. Don't be shy. I want to see and hear all of it. For some reason, I'm not seeing the chat on Twitch, and I'm just trying to make sure I can catch that for anyone who jumps in. So let me just pull that up real quick, and we'll be good to go. Okay. Yeah. So before we get into Loki, let me make this image disappear real quick. I want to talk about the big Marvel trailer. Now, Black Widow comes out in 10 days. That's not the one I want to talk about. What I want to talk about is Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. So I did a reaction to the teaser they released. I've talked about this movie before. I'm a big martial arts movie fan. The whole Hong Kong style of martial arts, Jackie Chan, Bruce Lee, the whole nine. I follow all like the kind of current guys as well. I am so pumped for this movie, and this trailer just really even solidified my excitement even more. I think you really can't go wrong with the way they have interpreted the 10 rings. So in the comic books, they're literal rings on your hand. They all have a different power. I like the fact that in the movie they're actually almost like bracelets or just rings that go around your arm. I love the way it looks, the way they have the powers looking. The action looks amazing. The choreography. Now, my biggest concern is the last time Marvel tried to get into the heavily choreographed kind of fight scenes where it's almost martial arts experts and not more of like a brawler. It was Iron Fist, and it was too choreographed. It almost looked like it was a dance they were doing. That's too much. I like the Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon kind of aesthetic in the one shot there. You know, the car chase, everything else looks like a Marvel staple. The humor looks like it's there, but they're taking the movie seriously. Look at the visuals here when he runs his hand through the water. It just looks so fucking good. I'm so excited for this movie. We don't have to wait too much longer. And the big things at the end of the trailer, so there's clearly some sort of martial arts tournament, but specifically Wong versus Abomination. Oh, I forgot about the dragon too. We talked about dragon before, but the Wong versus Abomination fight almost makes me more excited even for the movie than I thought I could ever be. I didn't know I wanted to see Abomination as much as I do when I see the trailer. I'm so excited for it. And the fact that it's Wong fighting Abomination just freaking gets me pumped. Super excited. So I just wanted to talk about that real quick because it was so busy last week I wasn't able to really react to it. And there you have it. Some of the other trailers that came out last week, there was a new trailer for the new Halloween movie that I was not into. I thought the last one was very good, and I didn't think they needed another one. I don't know why they were doing a sequel. I think they want to turn it into a trilogy. Even the teaser they showed, I was kind of like, you're going to fall to the same trap of it being just, it's like the same movie over and over again. But this trailer that they released shows almost the story seems like it's the whole town just going to war and going after Michael Myers, taking the initiative instead of taking him down one by one. They just go at him and start hunting him. That's such a unique idea for a horror movie like that I'm all in. Now I'm ready to go, and I'm waiting for the movie to be released. I'm excited about it. And the last one was good, so fingers crossed this one will be good too. So then that's it. Now let's get into Loki. So I didn't talk about last week's episode. I mentioned earlier that I thought the episode was a little slow. And the only reason why I thought it was slow is because I felt like the first couple of episodes kind of just kept pushing us forward in the story, giving us a little bit of information, giving us the teases, making us question certain things. And then the last episode was, and understandably, you need time for Loki and Sylvie to kind of get to know each other. Excuse me. But I thought that the last episode was just, the entire episode didn't need to be the two of them trying to get to know each other. We could have taken some time to see what was going on with the TVA, how they were trying to track him down. Just more information besides what was going on that moon. I didn't think that we needed to see just the two of them almost falling in love. I'm still on the fence about whether or not I want them to be falling in love or have that brother-sister kind of relationship. I do think it's kind of weird that they're essentially the same person, and there seems like there's some romantic undertones going on.
Man is
it's
forever,
not at all
forever
what I would have
timeless.
wanted
You know what I mean?
from them.
Forever.
But like I said, I'm not all here trying to badmouth them or trying to say that I don't like it already. Like I said, I just think that we need badmouth them or I don't know. I don't even know what I'm really trying to say. I just don't want it to be a love story. I think that we always fall into this trap of having the main character has to have a love interest. Yo, what's up, Evolution 2021? Sorry it took so long. For some reason, I'm having issues with the chat. I couldn't really see on my screen, but it looks like it's fixed now. So I see you. So welcome. Yeah. Where are we at here? So yeah, I really thought that episode was a little slow. It kind of brought the series. Oh shit. Well, that's not good. This is what happens when I film live. You know what I'm saying? So I got to make sure everything's working. Yeah, I thought it kind of brought the story to a halt. I felt like, we were moving forward. We kind of we ended the episode prior on a pretty exciting note with the reveal of Lady Loki, or Sylvie, as we've come to learn that her name is, and Loki kind of chasing her through the portal, and the episode started off strong with them in the TVA trying to go up to see the timekeepers, and then it just like became almost like a slog for the rest of the episode. Not a lot of action. I did have some questions that obviously were answered now, but by the end of that episode, I was kind of thinking to myself, what if Loki was enchanting Sylvie or Sylvie was enchanting Loki? I saw it going around the internet as well. It didn't seem like it was. There was more. It seemed like there was a lot more to what we were watching in that episode. And then now that I've basically gone 2 weeks in, or the very next episode, I know that that's not the case. Honestly, now that I'm saying it out loud, though, it very much could be the case, and maybe they just haven't given us the big reveal yet. But I think that we need, I don't know, with WandaVision, with Falcon and the Soldier, and now with Loki, it seems like all the shows, the first 2 episodes were strong, mainly because it's like, I'm glad we're back in these worlds. The 3rd episode kind of slows down a bit. Then the next episode, it just hits you with a banger. And this is arguably the biggest episode ever. WandaVision on episode 4 ended with the visual of dead Vision and Wanda kind of cracking, and the reveal of the hex and stuff. Falcon and Winter Soldier episode 4 ended with John Walker killing that he wasn't a civilian, but killing the terrorist with Captain America's shield, and it ended on the scene or the shot of the shield covered in blood. And this episode ended with some craziness. I think everyone kind of called how it ended, but the way they did it, I thought was excellent. And we're just going to kind of get into details. Let's go right down the episode. The one thing I didn't like this episode was Loki's little time prison. Him having to almost like face Lady Sif again. It was nice to see her back in the role, but the idea of him having to accept that he was an asshole his whole life and then kind of, come to terms with it. We've basically watched that the first 3 episodes. We saw movies of that, and I feel like, we're kind of past it. We didn't really need that. They could have come up with a better idea there. However, as far as killing time goes, to show us Mobius kind of slowly piecing things together and realizing that there is some truth to what Loki was saying and what Sylvie told him, That was, I thought, well done. Owen Wilson is killing it in the role. And spoiler alert: if you're watching this, you had to have watched the show. If you didn't watch the show, then come back to the YouTube channel when I post the recap after you watch the show. But Mobius being pruned at the end, it was kind of a gut punch. I think that the chemistry between him and Tom Hiddleston, or Loki and Mobius, was awesome. So for him to get killed at this point in the game, kind of sucks. And I'm a little, although I don't feel like he's actually dead. I honestly feel like he's going to be in whatever world Loki woke up at the end. And again, spoiler alert for the end of the show, Loki was pruned as well, which was a huge shock when it first happened. I don't know that I like the idea of Marvel essentially doing some big moment like that, and then in the post-credit stinger, just kind of taking it away from us and saying, "Oh no, don't worry about it, he's still alive." That I did like Loki's joke that he's died more times than he can count, but they could have at least let us sit on it for another week before they kind of pulled the rug back out from under us. But it was still it was a cool moment in the show with them fighting, and it followed one of the coolest moments. Seeing the timekeepers live and in the flesh was cool as shit. I loved the way they looked. I loved the visual representation of them. And like I said, a lot of people kind of called that the timekeepers were either fake or not really who they said they were, and they were working for someone else in particular. And the idea that they were androids, it was just a cool reveal. I love the way it was done. I even like their little giggle when Sylvie cut off the first one's head. And it just leaves a lot of questions as to who we think is running the show. I feel like all signs point to Kang the Conqueror. The judge, can they rename her name now? Ravonna Renslayer. She has strong ties to Kang the Conqueror in the comic books. Kang the Conqueror is a timekeeper, or is hired by the timekeepers, if I remember correctly, in the comic books. And we know Kang the Conqueror will be in Ant-Man 3 Quantumania. So it just lines up too perfectly that it's him. I don't know if it's going to be a red herring and it's going to kind of be like it lines up so perfectly that it's not going to be him. But at this point, I feel like they've given us so much clues towards that character. They can't now suddenly go, never mind, it's not going to be him, it's going to be someone else. I don't know if we're going to see him this episode or this season. We only have 2 more episodes left. I feel like they're not going to reveal what he looks like, but they might just kind of confirm that he's the one who's running the show. And I think we're also going to get confirmation that the TVA is in the quantum realm, which would tie in nicely to Ant-Man 3. I'm so excited. And then talking about the stinger at the end there, seeing all those different Loki variants kind of left me with some questions. My first question is, we now know that everyone at the TVA was captured. Their memories were erased, and they were basically brainwashed as to be slaves for the TVA. Are they all Loki variants of different types, or are they just random people that were just captured? So far, the only variants we've seen them chase down are Loki variants. So there were in the Miss Time, is that her name? I think it's Mrs. Time. In that little animation that Loki watched, she showed kind of other things being variants, other people. But, that could just be made up for the purpose of trying to trick Loki into whatever's going on. I am curious, though, why this Loki in particular is such a big deal. When all those other Lokis are out there. I loved seeing the Loki in like the classic Loki costume from the comic books. They all looked angry. The little alligator Loki was pretty funny. And I'm looking forward to seeing what more we have. There's going to be a ton more for sure. I hope we see a Hulk Loki variant. That'd be kind of awesome. But yeah, I mean, it was an excellent episode. Really gave us some good moments. And I look forward to what's coming, man. There's a lot going to happen. So I know, I guess Mephisto is officially out the door. I was still holding strong onto that for a while, but now I feel like maybe that's a little out of the realm of the MCU until, I don't know, maybe we see Blade. Speaking of Blade, there was that little hint, the little kind of confirmation that vampires exist in the MCU. That's a nice little setup for the Blade movie, the Blade reboot that's coming out. And yeah, and then for anyone and that's kind of all I have to say about the episode. As I watch it more and more and come up with new things, I'm going to just try and post on TikTok If you don't follow the TikTok Generational Gaming and Entertainment Network, you can find me on there. And I'm going to start posting more and more on there. I'm going to set it up to go live at some point too. There's not much else. Let me know what your theories are and what you think. And we could talk about them next week. And heck, if you want to be on the show and have a conversation with me live on Twitch, let me know and we can make that happen. I am really looking forward to what comes next for the next 2 weeks. We only have 2 more episodes of this. And by the time that's done, we'll have already watched Black Widow. And now keep in mind that Black Widow is technically the beginning of phase 4 of the MCU. Right now, we're more in like a setup phase, and everything we're seeing is about kind of moving some pieces in place. Clearly, the Young Avengers are being set up or being created. Kid Loki was one of the ones in that post-credit scene, and he becomes a part of the Young Avengers in the comics. So, we have a Kid Loki in the Hawkeye show. The Hawkeye mantle's being passed on. There was I can't remember the guy's name now. Isaiah Bradley's son or grandson in Falcon and Winter Soldier becomes a Young Avenger at some point. We know that Riri Williams, who builds her own Iron Man type armor, is going to be in the Armor Wars show. That already is 4 out of 5. We know She-Hulk is going to be around. I'm sure that'll be another Avenger type character. It'll be one Avengers team, Young Avengers, and then there'll be whatever other superhero teams out there. Guardians of the Galaxy will be out there. Fantastic Four is getting their reboot. My prediction for the end of Loki is that the timeline is not going to be set. The timekeepers or whoever's running it is going to be defeated in the sense that there's going to be multiple timelines and universes created, and that's going to allow Marvel to do things like reboot Blade, but not have it connect with any of the MCU stuff. Maybe start to introduce some mutants, but again, it'll be its own dimension. We have Loki, Doctor Strange, and Wanda going to be going through the multiverse of madness to deal with a whole bunch of shit. So Loki's going to set that up for them. And it'll also allow them to reboot the Fantastic Four, but maybe have them appear, in the 60s or 70s and not have them necessarily be around now. And it's an easy explanation as to how all these heroes didn't appear when Thanos was doing his thing. And we'll also get more of an explanation when the Eternals comes out. So there's still a lot of questions, and we still don't have a 100% clear idea of what's coming for the phase 4 and 5 of the MCU. The only thing we do know is it's going to be a universe, multiverse, reality, time travel, mumbo jumbo for the next couple of years at least. And I'm here for it. I think Marvel's done an excellent job so far, and I haven't seen anything that makes me think otherwise. So yeah, those are my thoughts. And just as a side note, E3 was a couple of weeks ago. ScytheX and I had a nice long conversation about the entire show. Spoiler alert, we both thought it kind of sucked. But for some reason, the footage got corrupted. So I'm going to get a small part of it, the Nintendo show and the Square Enix show up online at some point this week. And I'm still trying to recover the first half, which was the Microsoft Bethesda conference and the Ubisoft conference. Sony doesn't go to E3 anymore, which, I wish they were there, but the show really was a kind of a letdown overall anyway. So I'll get that on. Keep an eye out for it. It'll show up on YouTube, and I'll make sure I share everything on Facebook. You get most of the information from us on the Facebook group, Generational Gaming and Entertainment Network. Make sure you like and subscribe. Join to become a member. All that jazz. Again, we're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitch, and TikTok. That's a lot to say. Peep the merch. I'm loving this shirt here. I'm loving the hat here. I just love my logo. And yeah, I'll see you guys next week. Make sure you watch Loki and jump in. Like I said, if anyone's interested in kind of joining the live stream and having a conversation with me, let me know. I'm always interested in hearing everyone else's opinions, everyone else's theories. If you have an oddball theory out there, let me know. We could talk about it and kind of break it down and see how accurate it is. I will see you guys next week.